So why did I leave EXP to go to Real Broker? There was nothing wrong with EXP, right? There was nothing there that I was necessarily unhappy with. I was a part of an organization of people that some had decided to take a look at Real and see what was going on there. As the word kind of spread around a little bit, I was curious as well. So in talking with some folks and looking at the model that we were at, they're similar models, really. There were a lot of little things about Real that were just a little bit better. You know, the at the time, the revenue share plan was just a little better, and this thing was just a little better. And if you have a team or have ever been a team, shoot, as a solo agent, it's really, really hard to move your license normally. That's not a pleasant thing to do. Running a team like I do, we've got a team of about 20 agents, new signage, new business cards for everybody. It can be very expensive. And so for me, there needed to be a lot more than just a little bit better. So as I really started to dig in and started to look at what are the real business models and who has a plan for the future, not to say that EXP did not, but when I really started looking at what Real was doing, what they had to offer now and the technology that they had now, that was quite impressive. But then as I looked at what they were doing down the road, the things that are coming, that some of them have come to fruition now and some of them are still on the way, that's really when it just became clear to me that they were a little bit more focused on the future. There were some things like the Real Wallet, which is a credit card and debit system that's going out to the agents, paying the agents directly, but also creating like a better stock revenue for the company. There were just some real innovative ideas that Real was working on, where the other just felt a little stale at that time. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss any content. So that's, kind of the story of how I went from one company to another, or one firm to another, within a very similar, if not the same model, really. And this is a model that's newer to a lot of people. It's actually been around for quite a while, but a lot of people only in the last 4 or 5 years have started to hear about it. There was initially some taboo, some stigma attached to it. But I think more and more as people are starting to realize that there are firms out there that are just believers in the agents making more of the revenue, it's becoming a more and more popular idea. What drew me to this particular model in the first place was probably not what draws a lot of people. So I'd been at a firm, I was someone else's top producer for about 12 years, and it was great. I was selling a lot of homes, but at some point you just get to a place where you're not sure you want to sell homes forever. And so I started thinking about, growing a team and building in that way. I knew 100% that I never wanted to be a broker. I never wanted a broker's license because I didn't want that job. I'm a sales guy. So, a sales manager, getting people fired up and helping with that sort of thing, the lead conversion, that's my forte. Compliance side is not me. So I was kind of at an impasse when it was time to leave that other firm. And was I going to go out on my own, start my own firm, or was I going to go somewhere else, be somebody else's top producer for a while and try to figure out how to formulate a team underneath some other brokerage? And then I was introduced to these models. What it did for me is what I could see is it allowed me to kind of best of both worlds, right? To be able to have and start my own team, but without having to do that piece, that broker piece that I so badly did not want to do. So that was really the excitement to me of going to this kind of model. Now, revenue share was presented to me. Thought that was a great idea. Honestly, didn't pay a whole lot of attention to it. Gifted stock sounded great. Didn't pay a whole lot of attention to it. It was really that main focus for me was being able to create a team. Eventually, I was not ready at the time to be able to create a team without having to do that piece I didn't really want to do. So once we made that move and we started to sell on our own, that was going fine. I really wasn't even ready to start the team yet. I didn't have the infrastructure, wasn't ready yet, when a lender partner of mine brought these 2 agents to us and said, hey, they're looking for a home. They're not happy where they are. One had been licensed for a little while. The other was brand new, and they're looking for a team. You guys are ready to start a team. Let's get going. I wasn't ready to start a team. I knew I wanted to at some point. So, I think sometimes in life you just do what you've got to. You rise to the occasion. And so that began our team. So we kicked that off. We started growing a little bit. Slowly but surely, checks start arriving in the mail. And to back up a little bit, when I was trying to make that decision to go to a company like this with this sort of revenue share, I remember getting to a point where I looked at my wife and I said, I'm struggling. The one piece of this I'm struggling with is, how am I supposed to teach people in my own market to do exactly what I do, to show them my playbook for them to run off and do it all on their own, to essentially become my competition? And my wife said, with this revenue share, if you were to find 10 Micahs, 10 agents like yourself who are hungry, who work hard, who have aspirations to do bigger and better things, if you can find 10 of those and help them start teams of their own with 10 agents each, we'll never work another day again in our lives. And that was really the day that I said, okay, let's make the move. Let's give this a shot. So fast forward, the team starts. We start getting a few checks in the mail, $600. Hey, I just got another check, Micah, for $800, my wife tells me. And then the next month, I think it was like $1,100. And I'm going, hold on, what are these checks? And she's like, that revenue, that's the revenue share that you didn't really want to talk about very much in the beginning. You just wanted to focus on how you could build a team. So those checks started showing up and they just got bigger and bigger over time. And it wasn't because I was out recruiting. I've never been a recruiter for the firm that I've been at. I am a recruiter for our team. I do, try to bring agents in and grow the team that way. I've always preferred to try to attract more than recruit. I hate recruiting. It's not my thing. But if we can attract agents through having a good time with our agents, creating a great culture, that's always been the better way for me. So in that, as the team began to grow and grow, we'd have friends reach out that just said, hey, I don't want to join a team. Looks like you guys are doing great. Proud of you. But I'm curious about why you went to that company. So little by little, I'd share my story and people would join the same firm, write down my name on an application, and these checks start showing up. So that was pretty nice. I don't even know, 6 months in, we cap out. We capped out within like a month or two. Then we, at EXP, it was Icon. At Real, it's called Elite Agent. But we hit that top tier level and our cap is returned to us in stock. So we get a letter saying, hey, you've just been gifted this much stock. And it became really, really kind of amazing. That first year in this kind of model was just mind-blowing. And the amount of money that we were able to make, not just in selling homes for ourselves, not just in how our team grew, but in all of these little residual buckets that I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to in the beginning, was just really life-changing for us. So we spent about 4 years at the previous place. We are right at a year at the Real Broker now, and it has been absolutely incredible. The stock has just continued to grow since we've been there. The technology continues to innovate. Absolutely groundbreaking what's going on and what is coming down the road. So we just couldn't be happier. We took that leap of faith. It was the most nerve-wracking thing we did. We had some pretty great companies around our area that were excited to be vying for our attention and for us to possibly join them. And ultimately, we chose the riskiest of the options to, for the first time, go out on our own, to look at maybe creating a team. We took a risk. We took that gamble on ourselves, and it just really paid off.